Hey, hi friends, welcome to our YouTube channel. So today the problem that we are going to discuss is the n queen problem. So it's a famous backtracking problem, and yeah, let's look at the problem first and then discuss about its solution. Okay. So it's like the n queens puzzle is the problem of placing n queens on a n cross n chessboard such that no two queens attack each other. Given an integer, return all distinct solutions to the n queen puzzle. You may return the answer in any order. So this is the format they want us to return. So basically, for example, n equal to 4. So that means 4 queens are given and 4 cross 4 chessboard is given to you. So this is one of the configurations. That's how you can place 4 queens on a 4 cross 4 chessboard so that no two queens attack each other. Yeah, so these are the two configurations that are possible. So one configuration is this, another configuration is this. Okay, so first of all, let's understand the problem basically, and you should know little bit of a chess. So give me a second. So basically, if you talk about queen, right? Queen can move either horizontally or vertically or maybe diagonally. Okay, so these three directions queen can move. For example, if I place one of the queens at this place, okay, so this is the location of q1, this is the queen 1 I can place at this place, so I cannot place any other queen, I mean here in these boxes, right? Because here, I mean, this queen can attack on these boxes, right? So this is horizontally, this is vertically. I mean, if I highlight here, so this is kind of a horizontally, this is vertically, and this is kind of diagonally, right? So that's how it is. So this direction it is attacking this direction and this direction. You cannot place your second queen in these boxes which I have highlighted. For example, let's take another example which is okay, just a minute. Okay, let's remove this. Okay, if I place the queen at this place, right? If my queen is at this place, so I cannot place any queen on these boxes. So this is kind of horizontally, then so this is kind of horizontally, this is vertically, and now diagonally. So on this diagonal and on this diagonal. So let me highlight it for you. So I cannot place. So this is one of the diagonals. This is another diagonal. So yeah, this is one diagonal. This is another diagonal, right? And also horizontally and vertically. So on these boxes I cannot place any of other queens. So second queen I can place either here or here. Okay. Similarly, like this queen also blocks some of the boxes, right? So if I, for example, if I place the second queen here, so I cannot place any other queen this, this, this box and this box, right? These are blocked kind of. For example, now I place queen at this box. So now this is blocked because of this q3. These two are blocked. This is blocked. Okay. These all are blocked. Now I can place q4 here, right? I don't have any place of placing q5. So this is the wrong configuration, right? because I've booked kind of all the places. Now there is no place for Q5. So this is one of the wrong configurations. So I need to backtrack, right? Similarly, like you always keep on placing. So you start from first row, okay? Right? I mean that in one row you can place only one queen, because if you place one queen in one row, you cannot place second queen because those two queens can attack each other. For example, you place one queen here, another queen you place one queen on this box, right? You cannot place it here, 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 and here, because this queen will attack on those four boxes, right? Similarly, like so in each row you can only have one queen, right? Second queen, if you want to place, so you have to place that queen in second row only, okay? And similarly, like third queen, like next row, then fourth queen next row, and fifth queen in next row. So in each row you will have one queen. So if I ask you, like, what will be one of the valid configurations, you can return me a kind of a list wherein you can say, like, on let me draw it here. So you will return me a list, okay, wherein you can say that on the first row I can have a queen at, say, 0th column. I can have my queen at second column, third queen this at, say, third column, or like maybe I'm not checking the validity right now. I and queen 4 can have, like, again one column, and queen 5 can have, say, uh, fourth column. So this is the one of the configurations that you can return it to me, right? So that, I mean, no queen can attach each other. So one kind of list of integer is one of the valid configurations, which will have the column placements of every queen. So at first index of this returned list, I can have the value which denotes that on row 0 I can place at column 0, first queen at column 0. In row 1 I can place queen at column 2. Okay, for now let's see, uh, let's draw a box here. Okay, okay, yeah, like I'll tell you, like, so it's kind of 1 3 0 2. So 1 1 3 0 2, right? So this is one of the valid configurations. Okay, so one for this valid configuration, I can have a array or maybe a list which will contain kind of 1 3 0 2. So this is telling me that on row 0 I will have a queen at column 1, okay, which is this queen. This index is telling me that on row 1 I will have a queen at column 3, which is this queen. This is telling me that on row 2, that is this row, I'll have a queen at column 0, which is column 0 is this, right? So similarly, I mean, I have a queen at row 3, which is this row, and it is placed at column 2. So this is one of the valid configurations, right? So one valid configuration is represented by a list of size n. Okay, so this way I can have multiple valid configurations, right? for a certain number n, right? So I can have kind of a list of integers. So that will be my result, correct? But here they are asking for here they're asking for list of strings, and they have their own configuration that maybe we can convert it later. But for now, I'm thinking in direction wherein we will return kind of a list of integers, wherein one like one valid configuration will be this list, another valid configuration will be another, and so on and so forth. Okay, I hope you are clear till this point. Okay, now please bear with me because this is a kind of a long, this is going to be a long video since I'm covering a lot of backtracking concepts here. Okay, so now let's think about the solution, right? So let's see. For example, I'm giving it a name, say solve n queens, right? Okay, now it is taking kind of a value n, right? It's only taking a value n, which is kind of n queens are given, which represent that n queens are given and there is a n cross n chessboard. Okay, now we need to return kind of the valid configurations, right? Let's see, let's say the valid configuration will be represented by list of let me represent it. Okay, that will be list of integer. Okay, so as I explained you, right? So this is the list of integer. This is one valid configuration. Similarly, we can have multiple valid configurations. Okay, so that's why I've taken so this is one list of integers. I've taken list of integers. So because I need to kind of capture every list into this result list. So that's why I've taken this list of integers. Okay, so this is the return type of this. Now I'll take this list of integer. Sorry, with my handwriting. Okay, so I have a list of integer. I'll say kind of a mm, maybe call column placement or call placement, right? Let's give it a short name, say call placements. Okay, and it's a new array list. Sorry, it's a new array list. Okay, okay, now I will have another solve n queen which will take this n. Okay, this call placements. Okay, and what will it have in? It will have a kind of a result. So let me take this result also here. Okay, so this is integer, and I'll take kind of a list of integer result equal to new array list, and this result will be passed here, right? And this call placements will also be passed here. So this is one of the functions I need to write. So I'll have kind of a solve n queens, which will have integer n, sorry, list of integer as call placements, and list of integers as my result, right? Okay. Now what will I do in this function? Okay, so first of all, like I start with, so this is kind of a row, right? So I'll start with row 0. Okay, and I can have, say, I'll pass another, say, size n as well here. So I can have int, maybe what should I say, n. Okay, I'll say n, and here it is kind of a column. Okay, or maybe row, I should say row. I'll start with row 0 and I keep on incrementing. I mean, I'll place what should be the placement in row 0, what should be the placement in row 1, then row 2, then row 3, kind of. That's how I'll move right now. What should I do when I say, okay, when I say row 0, okay, I have now this matrix where I have kind of a row 0, right? Now row 0, if I place it in call 0, right? So I'll have for loop wherein I'm saying int I equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. Okay. Now here I am placing solve and queens. Okay. And I am saying call placements dot add. For example, this is for row 0, right? This is for row 0. I'm adding kind of a I here. Okay. Now I need to check whether it is valid to add at this place. Okay, now first of all, I'll check that is it okay to add it at that place. Then I'll add it, and yeah, I first of all check is it valid to add. So there is certain row that I'm deciding to add it at that particular. Mm-hmm. Mm, just a minute, I'm confused kind of here. How will I? So this is the column that I'm preparing, right? Kind of. Here I know that, okay, for example, I placed something here. Now I am placing kind of my third queen. I reached here, I'm placing it at X location. Now I want to validate it somewhere, right? So after placing it, I'll send it for validation, kind of. If that validation is not correct, So I should not move forward. hmm Yeah. So let's see. For example, this is the function, right? Let's delete it, or maybe place it here. Okay. Or maybe there is an option of deleting. Okay, fine. Sorry, guys. Now I should write, first of all, I should add it in call placements. Call placements dot add I. Okay. Now I'll say is valid call placements. If is it okay to add placements, then I'll call solve n queens for the next row, row plus one. Okay. And I'll pass kind of a call placements and the result. Okay. And n as well, if it is valid. And when I return, I'll say call placements dot remove last. Okay, this is the standard pattern of backtracking, right? I tried something, I backtrack. I tried placing that queen at that particular point, and now I'll backtrack and place at some other column, because we need to figure out every other possible configuration. So for example, I placed a queen here. Okay, now like I'll check one configuration, then I place it at next place and then check other configurations. So similarly, that's how we are backtracking, right? So yeah. Another thing is, when do I like add this call placement? This is one of the configuration that we have got. So once we have our row is equal to n, so I'll say result dot add my call placement. Okay, and that's how I'll do it. And yeah, is there anything else we need to check? And now, yeah, is valid. How we will decide that whether these call placements are valid or not? Let's discuss some bit of maths here. Okay, so if you have this array, right? For example, I'm placing a queen here, then a queen here, and so yeah, and now I'm placing a queen at this place, right? For example, these two I've already placed earlier. So what is the call array I'll get? So q this q1 I've already placed at 0, right? And q2, this is q1, right? This is q2, this is q3. q4, I mean, I'm not sure. Just I have placed till q3. Okay. Now q2 I'm placing at 2. Now q3 I'm trying to place at 1, and I call is valid method. So what is valid method will check? I mean, is the column for the new one that I've added just now is not same as others? Okay, first of all, check the column. I mean, they should not be in the same column, right? I mean, otherwise they will attack, right? If q2 would have been placed here, so this q1 will attack q2, correct? Since they are in same column. So I need to check in is valid method that, I mean, the new queen that I'm placing at end, it should not be, I mean, this value should not be same as other values which were there, right? It should not be 0, it should not be 2, correct? It should be different than the columns which other side. Another thing is it should not be attacking queens. Queens should not be attacking diagonally. Okay, for that I need to check that. I mean, so this is in, for example, this is row minus okay, so the rows difference and the calls difference should not be same. So this is 0th row, first row, second row, right? So this difference, that is 2 minus 0, should not be equal to this 1 minus 0 difference, right? Otherwise, I mean, they would be in di attacking diagonally, right? So I hope you understand this part, right? How should I explain this any other way? Let me check. Mm, yeah, for example, you are sitting at a particular ij, right? This is I comma j. Okay, now this will be kind of I minus 1, j minus 1, right? Again I minus 2, j minus 2. So your ij difference, if you compare I minus j, right? Here also you'll compare I minus j. That difference will remain same, right? Uh, or should I just a minute? Yeah, I think this this is the new row that I've added, right? Just a minute. This is the new um, thing I'm adding. So one thing is I need to check that the new column value should not be same as the other columns, right? So this I compare with the others. They should not be same. They should be, I mean, the difference should not be zero kind of between this and this and this. Now, another thing is, yeah, this difference should not be equal to this difference, right? Yeah. So their rows should also not be same. Rows should not also be same. Yeah, you can try, I mean, placing two queens and checking the difference. I mean, it will be proved that way, right? So let's start writing, and maybe I'll explain it further if we have some time left. Yeah. Okay. Now what we decided, we'll write kind of a solve n queens function. Okay. Let's see. We have kind of solve n queens, which will take, say, row, okay, and list of integer, which is kind of a call placements, okay, and list of integer, which will be our result, right? Now we'll say void for now, and we'll pass this list of list of integer and list of integer, which is kind of call placements, okay, to this function solve n queens. For example, we start with row 0, okay, and it will have this value as n, just to check till where our recursion will go. Now call placements, okay, then result, then n, okay, fine. Now what I'll check, if my row is equal n, okay, I've got one solution. I'll add the result, yeah, I'll add it into placements and I'll return. Okay, now what I'll do with, now I'll say int, I need to try kind of, so this is kind of, should I place it in, let's see, call, okay, should I place it in first column, second column, zeroth column, first column? So let's try pushing it, say call placements dot add call, okay, so I placing it, and let's try checking for kind of is valid method. Is it valid to place the queen at row 0? This is the call placement. Okay, call placement itself will tell you, is it okay to place it there? Is it so? Let's write a is valid boolean function which is taking kind of a list of integers, which is call placements, and for now let's just to resolve the compilation error, let's say false. Okay, we'll implement it just after completing this. Okay, if it is valid, if it's a valid placement, okay, we'll call this solve and queen for next row. Okay, and after doing this, we'll remove the last that we have added. Okay, this is how it is. Okay, now how we'll check that, okay, it's a valid. So first of all, which row we are trying to, last row, right? So which row we are trying to, this is the row ID which we are trying to fill now. Now we'll check int I equal to 0, I is less than call placements dot size, or maybe last row I plus plus. Okay, I need to check that the placement I'm doing, okay, so column at which queen is placed. Okay, so this is call placement dot get last row. Okay, on this column I placed it. I need to check that now. is placed just now. Okay. And at which column the queen is placed. Okay, this is kind of so let's say that is true. If is same as just now, return false. Okay, if at any point of time I've placed this queen, and now we need to check that it should not be on the diagonal of that. So if I say row I at row I queen is placed at call placements dot get I, right, column. So at row I queen is placed at call placement dot get I column, and this last, so and last queen is placed at last queen is placed at last row, and this column, right? Okay, now if let me again okay, let me go back to, so that we should not have this I don't want to make this mathematical thing wrong. Okay, so for example, this is where my first queen is placed. This is q1, right? So my first queen is placed at 0. Now, and my second queen is placed at, say, here, right? Okay, so that is at 2. Now third queen, if I'm placing, I cannot place it here, right? Because this will be same column. Here again, this won't be the same column, but if I place here, so right now this is at second row or first row and 0 1 2 second column, right? This is 1 comma 2, right? This is at 1 comma 2, correct? This is at 0, oh no, sorry, 0 1 2 0 1. This is at 2 comma 1, right? 2 comma 1. So yeah, so the difference, I mean, this difference should not be 0, basically, right? Hmm, just a minute. Similarly, so this is kind of 1 comma 2, right? And this is 2 comma 1. This is 3 comma 0. Okay, so basically this is 2 minus 1, 2 minus 1, correct? This is 1 minus 3 minus 1, yeah. So we need to compare I and J's difference. Okay, so I and J's difference. So last row minus I, if it is equal to yeah, that is also this is math dot absolute. Okay, again this is math dot absolute. Okay, then return false. That this is equal or or either this is equal or this is equal, right? Right. So yep, return false, otherwise return 0. Okay, so this will return me one of the configurations. Now, so now we need to convert this. So this will give me, this result array will be populated with kind of all the configurations, right? Now we need to convert this result array into this format, right? Let me copy this. Okay, okay, now let's see, for let's have the for loop. Okay, now give me list of integer. This is kind of call placements, call place, call it, and it will having the result. Okay, now when I iterate over it, I'll say string buffer sp equal to new string buffer. This is the final result thing that we need to return, right? Correct. Now we'll create a list here. So maybe a current list, and we'll add it to the final result. Okay. Now this is kind of okay. So for example, if this is 1, if this is 1, so I need to place Q at first index. I think the problem won't take much time. This formatting will take some time. Okay. If this is just 2, place Q at 2. Okay, I'll have a string buffer inside. I'll say I'll for loop int I equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. Okay. If I equal call sp dot append q. Okay. Otherwise sp dot append, else sp dot append dot. Okay. Now I'll say dot add sp dot to string. Okay. Not inside for, after for. Okay. So this is one for, correct? For is done. After that, add it to current. Add current to this final result, right? Yeah, and return this final result. Okay. Now see, let's awesome. Yep. Yeah, thank you so much guys for watching, and please leave your comments, and this will help me to improve this channel, and yeah, like, subscribe and share. Thanks a lot.